Hello everyone and welcome again to another Dimension X digital toy review. And today we're looking at something that hasn't been on the shelves for a while, but they're starting to come back. These are the BanDai 12-inch vinyl Godzilla figures. This is the Final Wars Godzilla, and there also is a Mechagodzilla, Millennium series Mechagodzilla, and I have that one as well. I'll show it in this video, but I'm going to give it its own review just because these videos are running so long. I just did the Ultimate Jason Voorhees NECA figure, and that was a 26-minute long video, and I don't know how anyone can listen to me for that long. So I'm going to split these up, and they should be pretty quick reviews anyways, because they're pretty, quick figures to look at. But these are just so cool, and I just really wanted to get them out in front of the camera and take a look at them. So yeah, these are the 12-inchers. These are the big guys. Now the 6-inch versions are... those are, I want to say they're Walmart exclusives right now. So, I mean, God, he's so big I can't even get the whole package in the frame. But once he's out of there, he'll fit. So, let me start opening them up. Well, let's take a look at them first, I guess. But, yeah, these are hitting Gamestops. So if you go to GameStop and they don't have it, they should be able to tell you when. I actually found him first, and then the next day Mechagodzilla showed up. So I was waiting to do these until I had both. But this is the Final Wars Godzilla. This model, I don't think has been on the shelves for a while, at least not in the US. And it's one of my favorite designs, so I was stoked when I found this. And so I'm going to open him up, and we're going to take a look at him, and then I'll do another video for the Mechagodzilla, and he's really cool. So yeah, the 6-inch versions, I want to say, are Walmart exclusives. These guys are at GameStop. I don't know if these are going to start hitting Walmart shelves as well. I wouldn't be shocked, especially with King of the Monsters coming out next week. I think we're going to see a nice big surge in Godzilla merchandise. So yeah, he's ready to be popped out. It's got that. I really like these. I really like these boxes. I mean, if you keep him in the box, he displays cool. You have the Japanese Godzilla logo there. You have this one down here, and you have the 54 version. This is actually one of their vinyl figures as well. And so I'm gonna have to maneuver this guy. And on the back, you can see. Oh God! Well, I guess you would be able to see here. So on the back, we have the Final Wars Godzilla and the Mechagodzilla. And like I said, we've got both of them, so we're going to be looking at both. Let me get him out of the package. Boom. Oh, wow. Man, he's a big guy. For size comparison, I actually have a Final Wars 6-incher. And there you go. So he's a pretty big dude. I'm going to have to find a spot for him. I will point out, though, this 6-inch Final Wars versus the 12, as far as being on model goes, or what? Why won't you focus? Okay, so there we go. I think this one has a much better likeness to the actual suit from the film. It's a little the Final Wars Godzilla has a bit of a almost an avian look to it, like a bird. He has kind of a beak almost. His mouth is much smaller. His crown is different. He has little tiny ears. He's a really nice, sleek looking Godzilla. And so this smaller version, I think, is a little more on model. However, whether he's on model or not, this is just a really great looking Godzilla. I mean, you could, whether you want, whether it's Final Wars accurate or not. I mean, look at this guy. He is huge. And I like that his tail is condensed, because as a Godzilla collector, hardest part about displaying these guys and fitting them into your shelves is their super long tails. So I really appreciate them actually kind of keeping it tucked away, and it does move. So if you wanted to pose it a little bit, I guess. But I mean, man, I love the work. I mean, for vinyl figures, BanDai they've really done good by the fans. I mean, the sculpts are always really nice. The paint apps are pretty nice. Sometimes you might get a little bit wonky looking eyes. Like even this one, I think the eyes are a little uneven from each other. But from a side profile, he looks awesome. Teeth are nice and sharp. The tongue looks good. I wish they kind of did a little more red around the base there, but you know, I can't complain too much. And here, let me try to raise this up a little bit so I'm not constantly fighting him. Okay, that's better. There we go. He'll stay in frame a bit better now and get him closer. Yeah, you can see, I mean, the scale work is really nice, the texture work. He's got articulation in both arms here. He's got articulation in his legs, and in his neck. However, just because, you know, I usually don't pose my Godzillas super much. And then he has 1, 2, 3 in his tail. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. But man, he's a big dude. I'm gonna have to free up some space for this guy. But he looks really cool. And you know what? We only have 5 minutes here. We're pretty much already kind of done with him. Maybe I'll bust out the mecha too, and we'll look at him. But yeah. So if you're looking for one of these, it's been a while since they've been on the shelves. Head over to GameStop and try to find them. They also have these small chibi figures, which it's not really my thing. But if you are looking for, if you like the little deformed guys, or just wanting something cool for your desk, you might be able to find those too. These are retailing over there for $29.99, which is much better than finding them on eBay, where you're going to be paying. The cheapest I've seen on eBay for a while for these guys is like $50 to $60. So if you really want a nice big Godzilla, and you don't want to shell out for, you know, one of the really crazy high end ones that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars, hey, I wouldn't feel bad about displaying this guy. He looks really cool. So since we are actually running a bit ahead of schedule, I might as well just bust out the Mechagodzilla, and we can take a look at him too. So let me find him. And we won't go over his packaging because it's exactly the same. Oh, here, let's get you out of the way, big guy. So here he is. And this is, you can see this is the Millennium series Mechagodzilla. It's not the Showa version, or even the Heisei. But here, let me get him out of his package. We're not going to bother looking at his package. Like I said, it's exactly the same as the other one. All right, and there he is, and he looks awesome. He looks so awesome. He actually has some really great sculpt details, a lot of nice wires and cables and texture in his legs and arms. Let's see, his articulation is at the shoulders here. Oh, there it goes, just a little sticky. So both arms, head. Ooh, do his leg? His legs don't move though. That's funny. His tail does not. Okay, so he's got much less articulation than the actual the Godzilla. But God, look at, I mean, these guys are just massive. They're huge. His tail is not bunched up though, so he's gonna be one of those where it's gonna be hard to find a spot. But let's get these guys next to each other. Oh yeah, there you go. Put that on your shelf and just sit back and enjoy. From what I can tell, it looks like they're getting 2 of each per shipment. I want to say they are anyways. He was the only one that I saw at the store. I don't know if somebody got one before me. But there was only one of these at the shop, and then when the mecha showed up today, they had 2. One they were holding for me, and one was on the shelf. And so there might be getting 2 per store per shipment. So you might want to call ahead and see if they've got them or when they're going to get them. Let's take a close look. Oh man, see, true Godzilla fashion. He's a wrecking ball. Get him. I really like his face. I really like that sculpt in his face there. Looks like, I mean, it's a vinyl, so I'm gonna have to maybe get this stand up just a little bit straighter. But he's got some really great some shading in his mouth there and his teeth. I like the two-tone here. It's not just all silver. There's darker shades there in the legs under the armor. And yeah, what a nice big beefy mecha Godzilla. So, and again, $30 at GameStop versus 60 to 80. Mechagodzilla, I think, is a little bit more on eBay most of the time. But man, you got both of these guys here. They're going to look cool on your shelf or on your desk or wherever you like to display your figures. But yeah, super cool that these are hitting the shelves again. I mean, you know, um, between these hitting GameStop and the 6 inchers hitting Walmart, what a great time to be a Godzilla fan, man. Especially we got a new movie coming out. Shin Godzilla came out, what, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. The anime, which has its fans. I actually still haven't watched all the way through. The negative things I've heard have actually kind of made me put on my back burner. I'm going to watch them. I just haven't really got around to it yet. But between King of the Monsters, new merch, the stuff coming from NECA, the Monster Art stuff that's coming out, I mean, this is truly like a really great time to be a fan of Godzilla. We're getting a lot of great stuff. If you haven't seen the 6-inch vinyls at Walmart, they're really great. I've been buying those for my son because he loves watching Godzilla movies, and he's 2.5. So, with them being little vinyl figures, I mean, he smashes them into each other nonstop. They're not going to get broken or anything like that. Every once in a while, you have to pop his tail back on or something. But yeah, he loves his Godzilla figures, and who do they have? Well, I got them all. So tell you what, I'm gonna pause them. Let's take a look at those too. Just see what's on the shelves right now for Godzilla fans to go out hunting for. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So going through what you can find right now at Walmart as far as the 6-inch vinyls go. Let's see, right here we have the 54 Godzilla. This is the one that's on the packaging in the corner there. You can see the familiar kind of creepy stare. This one I like a lot. It's like a really good standard Godzilla. If you've got like a little kid, these are great. Like I said, my son just smashes the crap out of these things all the time, and some of this, forgive any like cookie crumbs that might be on here. He plays with these things constantly. But you can find the 54 Godzilla. He's like a gray tone. He was hard to get for a minute, and he started showing up a lot lately. So if you want like a good classic Godzilla, you have this guy here. Before he was hitting shelves, then there was this version, which honestly I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, this was the first one I got him because this is the one that was on the shelves, and this is more like the later like the later Showa version, where like kind of around like Smog Monster or Hedorah, or even Monster Island, stuff like that, where he kind of had big kind of googly eyes, a little bit more of a snub nose, which they kind of did in Godzilla 84 as well. But this one's definitely more like I said, more like versus Hedorah era. So if you want something a little more classic, keep your eye out for the 54. But if it's for like a little kid or you're in a pinch, go ahead and there's no shame in getting this guy either. Now this one's really cool too. They also have the Godzilla 2000 or Millennium Godzilla figure. He's not too hard to find. I notice he's sometimes he's a little harder to get than the other two, but he looks really cool. He's got a really nice sculpt. He's actually really accurate looking. He has a real his dorsal fins are awesome. Really, he's really kind of menacing looking, and he's cool. He's really cool. Here, run out of room here. They also have the Showa Mechagodzilla, and I really like this one. This one, the sculpt is really fantastic on it. Honestly, if you really get it up close, I mean, he's got rivets everywhere. He's got his missiles in his mouth. It's funny saying stuff like that as a grown man. It's even got the vent here, like where the suit actor was actually looking out of. So the head could spin around, which it does very easily. I mean, and that's what's so cool about these. They're actually the details are really here. On at least on some of them. This one and Mothra are fantastic. They're probably my two favorite of all these. But yeah, they look good. You know, the tail is accurate. I even like that it has a little bit of texturing, kind of where it's almost more of a fabric-y where the suit would be. It has the Mechagodzilla logos on his arm. It's really cool. You know, I mean, if it's kind of off in the distance, you really wouldn't know that this is just a little vinyl figure. You know, he actually looks really great. So you can get a Mechagodzilla as well. There is King Ghidorah, which he looks pretty cool. The only the issue I have with this one is that the inside of his mouth is like really fat, and it kind of makes him look a little blobby. And also his head's kind of like this, kind of settle in next to each other. I'm sure you can get a hairdryer and kind of get him out a little bit more, but yeah. But other than that, I do like his scales, and his proportions are good. I like that his tail kind of helps him balance out. So if you're looking for a nice little King Ghidorah, he's out there. He's not super hard to find, but right now I have noticed that what is it? We'll call him the Hidora, or the Hedora, however you want to pronounce it. This one, Mothra, and the 54 are really the ones you're going to find on the shelves right now. Don't go looking for the Final Wars 6-incher, because he's not out there, at least not yet. And then probably my favorite next to the Mecha, if not my favorite, is the Mothra. And I mean, look at this thing. For a vinyl figure, look at the detailing on that thing. I mean, here, let's get it close so we can really look. But look at that. Look at the texture work, and it's all throughout the wings and the body. The paint app is really nice. I think they call this the rainbow, like rainbow Mothra. But look at that. I mean, and on the bottom here, and his face. She's even got I keep saying he. She even has articulation here in her little front arms, so you can actually display her okay, like sitting on a shelf. You can kind of prop her up a little bit, and she doesn't look completely out of place. I actually have mine kind of sitting like this on a shelf because I have one of these too, and she kind of is a little bit behind a Godzilla, and you can see her wingspan. I want to hang it up, but I haven't had the time yet. But yeah, this one is probably my favorite in terms of detail and the sculpt, and it's really fantastic. You can see, I mean, these have been hitting shelves since like what, 2002. It's so nice to see them on shelves again. I love walking into a Walmart in 2019 and being able to see like all of these Godzilla figures. I mean, look at this. That's crazy. You know, this day and age, you can walk in and just find all these figures. So yeah, so this is my son's little collection. He also has a third form Shin Godzilla that I have somewhere around here. I couldn't find it. But yeah, so if you're looking for something a little smaller scale, like classic Godzilla stuff, you know, just something to sit on your desk or for your kids, track these down. I keep saying it, I believe they're Walmart exclusives. So yeah, keep your eyes open for them. Again, if you want the big 12-incher Godzilla or Mechagodzilla, go hit up GameStop and try to get them before they're gone. I don't know what limited quantity, if they're going to be limited quantities or not. So anyways, thanks again for letting me ramble on. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Hey, there we go. That's more like it. We're at 18, almost 19 minutes. That's more on par for one of my videos, right? The longer the better. So yeah, keep your eye out for these. Walmart for the 6-inch, GameStop for the 12, and God, I can't wait for King of the Monsters. I can't wait to talk about that movie and to see it on a gigantic screen, and it's just gonna be, I hope it's awesome. Been getting really good word of mouth, like early screening reactions, but this day and age everything does, so fingers crossed. But I'm pumped. So thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe. I've got a lot of updates coming, but I'm not going to make this video any longer. I'll post another one in a day or so. This weekend I'm going to be real busy working on stuff for the site and for the video intros and all the stuff I'm working on. Big news coming, so you know, keep checking the page. Keep yeah, blah blah blah. I keep talking. We're almost at 20 minutes. Thank you again, and until next time.